I was trying to decide if I was gonna make a video saying goodbye or not, and then I realized that there's something that I wanted to say instead. It's not goodbye. It is the fact that we are connected, regardless if our material connection is severed, if they materially ban this app. We know we're still connected. We're just not gonna have that grounded acknowledgement of connection. We're still gonna have that. We have to make compromise, and that we have to have an appropriate adventure. So that means that like we're on to new things, and sometimes an end might come that we don't necessarily want to happen, but we have to trust the voice within us, and we have to make those long-term plans. So like if TikTok isn't the long-term plan, start making plans in your current life. So start making different plans. We just have to trust our voice and know that we might not be able to put out our voice in the same manner, but that we're gonna find our way. Part of the issue that like TikTok has brought in to a lot of people is that we weren't living our own lives. And the positive here is now that TikTok is going away, that we need to see the positive here is that we can start living for ourselves now, and we can start like working towards our own individual journeys and taking the steps. I think there's a lot of people that can say the same thing that I can, that you know, you get lost in the scrolling and seeing what everyone else is up to. And the positive from here is that we're going to be able to start minding our own, and we're going to be able to start like working on towards something that we ideally want in our lives, so to be more active in our lives. So we are our own authors, and we get to decide what life that we have. And what we were doing is we were using TikTok as kind of like this entertainment thing, but we can start writing our own lives, our own journey, take those steps to like be entertained by our own lives. Like we don't have to get our entertainment, seek our entertainment from something externally. Like we can come internally and start working towards that inner beauty. This is something that we're not allowing ourselves to have when I pull out the pedestals, so I'm just gonna put it right onto this guy here. I don't know what the card is yet, but we will find out. So the interesting thing about the way that I'm reading today, and I don't normally read this way, I usually open all of my decks and then I like feel the energy. And something that's really weird about this particular energy is it's like one by one by one by one. And I feel like there's an overwhelm because we just kind of feel like one after another that we are losing things, and that like we're not, the direction in which we wanted to go is not necessarily the direction, but like everything feels disconnected. It's asking me to use the inner child deck to balance, like in a weird way. I'll show you what I'm doing here in a second. So it's having me balance the inner child deck, and it's burning me energetically. So that means to me that this is an important lesson, and it's connected to the inner child. So I'm not sure that we're actually going to use the cards, but we're using them, but to illustrate like this is our inner child, the stuff that we need to work on, and we're not allowing these things. This wants to sit up on top of here, so we're gonna put it up here. And honestly enough, I have seen this card a lot in my readings, so this might be that we are being taught the same lessons over and over again. Okay, but this is chaos, like utter chaos. There's things in the way. It feels like a lot of blockages, and like we want these things, but like we're not able to get them. So this is what we're struggling with. So we're having a hard time adapting, and it's because of our inner child. We still need to do a lot of inner child work, the balancing decisions, priorities, and adapting to change. Like this is stuff that we need to work on in our inner child, so then that way we can be more flexible, we can be more balanced in our decisions, we can start making those priorities, and the priorities ourselves, like working on ourselves. So this is going to be about like focusing on the self. So this is a time of inner reflection and being able to like make changes in your life for you, instead of falling into a TikTok loophole. Don't find a new platform. Start working on yourself. And as you work on yourself, like, you're going to spread those beautiful ripples that are going to affect whole communities. Change happens within. And we don't need to find that new platform. We can, but we all know that it's not going to be like this platform. The replacement needs to be to work on the self. Okay, so because we are having issues with the balancing decisions, priorities, adapting to change, we're not allowing ourselves this either. Fits so much what I was saying about the finding your roots somewhere and then being able to spread out, like as far as your communities, like when you have that inner growth, which is roots, and when you establish your roots, that you're going to help spread and make it fertile for other people around you. So this is about like finding your roots in your inner strength and then being able to have that development so much that it helps other people establish their root systems, and then through building those roots, like on a closer level, being able to send out those ripples. And it might not be in the ways that we want. It might not be on a large app like TikTok, but we're going to be able to be ourselves and have those inner growth moments and stuff like that. And through that, we're going to be interconnected. So what I mean by that is, like, I'm in Wyoming and I have a spiritual shop now. I have written a book, and I'm hoping that the book goes out there and spreads the ripples and knowledge. And I've got a set up root system here, and I'm trying to spread this knowledge as far as I can. And through that, when someone else sets up their root system and they spread that knowledge, we are all interconnected. I've always been interconnected, but TikTok helped us achieve that in a very grounded and anchored way. And I'm extremely grateful for that. And especially when it's coming to an end, like, you don't really know what you have until it's gone, but it's also keeping us from growing. So it's almost time for it to make its exit so we can start working on our inner selves. And that's hard for me to say out loud because I know that that's the sign and signals for that. And with that being said, I'm now looking at the clock over there. So this is a breathing pattern to try to pull you into your present mind. So this is the power of breath. You can calm ourselves through our breath. Use the pattern on the front of this card to guide you. Repeat 3 times or more. Notice how you feel. So this is about, like, it's time to be present. We need to see the positives here. Like, I know that, like, I have been extremely guilty of looking for the next step through scrolling on TikTok. And I can tell you that Instagram and Facebook, they don't have that same algorithm that makes me feel fulfilled. And TikTok is fulfilling in the way that it's like a roller coaster. It's like an up and a down. I'm crying, now I'm happy. And like, it's almost like to the point where I can't stop scrolling. Even when they do that whole like, are you still scrolling? I scroll past that and I keep going. And this is going to free up a lot of time for me to start inner reflection, being present, working on the roots. I'm going to be a lot more free now as far as free time. And I still accomplished a lot. Still. But I'm going to be able to accomplish more now. And we're still connected. We just have to remember that. We're still connected. Other than to say that we're losing the grounded connection. We're not connected. And we were able to see that in such a beautiful way, especially with the 4 a.m. clubs and stuff like that. Keep growing, keep pushing, be the best version of you. Baby steps every day. All right. Grow your roots, guys, and feel those connections through your ripples.